Hello, everyone. My name is Oksana. It's Road to Edoverse, weekly Edoverse Insider's 51st. We deliver the news about the creation of our project Edoverse. And Tokugawa-san, as usual, could you please open the session today?
Hi. Thank you, Oksana. Hello, everybody. This is Eihiro Tokugawa. Now, from last week, I am talking about Yoshiwara, the red light district of Edo City. Now, when I explain to grown-up men about Edoverse, they all say that as a man, they would love to see Yoshiwara. But this is the area that I am least comfortable about, as it is an officially sanctioned red light district. So prostitution was legal, but within limited space. Okay, and now Yoshiwara it exists today. The area is full of soapurando, and then explaining this would take an hour, and I don't even want to talk about it actually, very much. So if you know so well about it, you sound really sleazy, and then if you don't know anything, you sound stupid. So I don't want to talk about soapurando, and about Yoshiwara. So Edo, as I have repeatedly said, was a man's town. It's a new city. There's always construction work. Samurai were from all over Japan had to work in Edo half the time. So it was male dominated in terms of numbers. So, and these were young, healthy men. So they needed to do something about their libido. And naturally, prostitution became a major industry in early Edo. And then one samurai, or former samurai named Shoji Jinnai, came to Tokugawa Ieyasu and told him about the merits of building an official red light district. And his reasoning was as follows. Is that so many people, especially the employees of merchants, would go to a brothel and then spend so many days, and they would end up spending their master's money. So business discipline was loose because of all the prostitutes here and there in Edo. And then number two was that there was kidnapping and human trafficking all over Japan. So if you put all the brothels under government control, then you could prevent that to some extent. But this was actually more a matter of living standards and supply and demand. But they say these things anyway when when the government wants to regulate the economy. And then, so of all the Ronin and potential criminals, they would gather in the red light district, so it will be easy to monitor them. And I think this is a logic that can be seen in all aspects of Tokugawa society. So you bring everything together so that the government can keep an eye on them. This would apply to samurai, this would apply to businesses, and this also applied to prostitutes and criminals. So we always hear about a criminal underworld in any major city, but the idea of Shoji Jinnai was to put them in one place so that we can monitor them. And so this custom probably continued until quite recently with the Japanese Yakuza. So the Japanese Yakuza were exceptional amongst all the world's mafias and organized crime, in that the police knew every single member of any Yakuza organization. Well, anyway, Tokugawa Ieyasu approved of this, but the creation of Yoshiwara had to wait until the Toyotomi was destroyed. They started business in 1617, excuse me. And then, but then, see, the regulations were quite interesting in that, there was first a monopoly of the business. So no prostitute could operate outside of Yoshiwara. And then the client could not stay in a brothel for more than one night. So you cannot stay like a week in a brothel, even no matter how fun it is. And then this was very different from the latter day Yoshiwara, which is that the courtesans could not wear luxurious clothes. It was only blue colored, dark blue, navy blue. And then all the brothels will have to look very frugal. So it should not be so luxurious either. And then if there is anyone suspicious, then his existence, his presence must be reported to the magistrate's office. So this is how Yoshiwara started. So it was, its existence was downplayed. And also, they could operate only in daytime. Yes, it's very strange. And then in order to show the difference between the outside world, a very large moat, 9 meters wide, was created around this space, which was about 20,000 square meters back then. And 10,000 people, including all the women, the staff, the food delivery service, and the guard people, the guard who made sure that the women would not try to escape, lived inside of that gated and moated space. Okay, so and this tale would continue for a couple of more weeks. So thank you very much, Oksana, and that was enough for today.
Thank you very much, Tokugawa-san. And JJ, could you please continue the session?
Yeah. Thank you, Oksana. Hi, everyone. We just did some AR exhibition event yesterday, and then the day before yesterday, 2 days ago in Hikarie, located in Shibuya. And then I've seen some photos. Dominic and Oksana came to this place. Yeah, I've just seen your beautiful picture with nice AR and then nice NFTs. Yeah, thank you so much for coming there. And yes, it was really nice. We did some kind of collaboration with other projects. Some of them are so famous globally, famous in Japan only, but it's nice collaboration anyway. And then we could show some kind of use case, how we can, use and utilize our NFTs, like avatars or like, katanas, and then the pictures of Edoverse anyway. And then in terms of budget space, we currently working on implementing the system inside to welcome all of the third-party developers and also the holders who wants to create kind of daimyo mansion and create original design or something like that. And then it just what we request is just to keep working to sequence. So they are doing very well currently. And the other topic is maybe monthly insider. Dominic mentioned that we are going to we are considering that we are going to start kind of Zeni campaign for all of the holders to be more beneficiable. We are thinking of providing kind of new yield farming service, which is like for example, let's say the market cap of Zeni hits around here, then all of the holders can get Zenis, like by free. Not saying by free, but like kind of rights offering system in cryptocurrency, so that all of the holders can continue and feel safely to buy Zeni, because as long as they continue to buy Zeni, then they can get kind of Zeni from the treasury address from our foundation, so that no one trying to sell Zeni. Means like the selling power is going to be decreasing and demanding power is going to be increasing. Means the market cap is going to be much higher than ever, I guess. But currently, as you can see, the liquidity is so low. So if let's say like I buy, like I put some money and try to buy 1 million Zeni or something, maybe twice or 3 times bigger than that. So it's so easy to make the market price more higher. But this is not the real price, as you can see. It's because low liquidity, then we buy up, but after that down. So we have to make the liquidity more, liquidity increase to make our Zeni more high presence in crypto market. So we have to put Zeni to the CMC as well, and we have to make it more diluted. So let's say currently the holders number is around 2,500. Our target is 25K, for example, and then more holders, and then more buying power. Finally, Zeni can be like true key currency in Edoverse. And then it's a time for us to proceed to the one of the biggest exchange like SEX and DX as well, and DeFi, blah, blah, something. So first of all, we are gonna define our campaign as soon as we can, and then we're gonna make an announcement to all of you. So stay tuned, please. Thank you so much. That's enough from my side.
Thank you very much, TJ. Yes, event was very fun, and yes, it was nice to meet everybody interested in the Edoverse.
Thank you.
Thank you. And also Mitsushi, we have Mitsushi with us today. Hello, how are you doing?
Hello. I got a cold last weekend, so I was ill in bed. I was not able to make it and attend the event. It was very unfortunate, but please, everybody, please stay safe. And these days, a lot of my friends, customers, clients, business partner ask me about, do you know any great Metaverse project? And I explain Edoverse project. And there's one thing that is really important. That is, definition of Metaverse is quite broad. And technically speaking, 3D CG cyberspace is broadly referred to as Metaverse. But what is important here is whether that Metaverse has its own tokenomics with its own native token and NFT, either whether Web3 or blockchain elements are incorporated into the service. That is very important distinction between like a broad Metaverse and the Metaverse within Web3 context. So I read a lot of articles and newspaper, but that sort of technical definition is not necessarily discussed yet. However, without blockchain technology, just broad 3D like cyberspace does not necessarily revolutionarily change the world. That's what I think. So it's very important to make people understood that real Metaverse or Metaverse, what we call in Web3 context, should have its own tokenomics and blockchain technology incorporated inside. From that technical perspective, Edoverse is a great successful model. We already have like Sandbox or Decentraland and some other global Metaverse service with blockchain technology incorporated in it. However, Edoverse is unique in that it has its own tokenomics as well as unique feature, such as featuring Edo Period, and that sort of like sort of content-oriented Metaverse has not been widely used yet. So in order to facilitate or accelerate more like accurate understanding of Metaverse to public, I think promotion of Edoverse is really important. That's what I think. In any like newspaper article, oftentimes they do not refer to whether the Metaverse has its own tokenomics or not. But without its own tokenomics or native token NFT, Metaverse it's just meaningless, I think, because when I was in high school, when I was in elementary school, we already had like Abema Pig or like 3D CG cyberspace. It's nothing new to me, indeed, because it has own tokenomics. It's new, it's revolutionary, and the sense of ownership of a digital asset is what is unique in Web3 context. That's what I really think these days. So I think we should continue to not propagate, but like publish this kind of information or discourse to public. I think that's very meaningful role of Edoverse. That's what I think these days. That's all from me. Not much update about practical stuff, but yeah, thanks. Thanks.
Thank you very much. And we also have Martin with us today. Hello, Martin. Hey.
Greetings. Absolutely fascinating what Mitsushi just said about the differentiating factor of the Edoverse, and especially from the communications PR point of view, that is really, really important because Edoverse occupies a unique space within the market here. I think if we can keep communicating that, more and more people will realize just how revolutionary this project is. Anyway, I was just going to say, at the monthly Insider that we had a couple of days ago, we celebrated the first birthday, and we're Weekly Insider 51. So next week will be the 52nd, kind of marking 1 year since we've been doing the Edoverse Weekly Insider. So I think perhaps on that occasion next week, perhaps we could ask Dominic to kind of look back over the past year and give us some highlights and talk about just how far the project has come. One important thing for me as a stakeholder is the big success of the auction of the avatars the other day. So, if anyone watching this is experiencing any FUD in regards to the project, I think the fact that those 2 avatars sold for such a high hammer price validates the business model completely. And it's rather like airlines where the first class passengers subsidize the economy passengers. So if it wasn't for those first class and business class passengers paying such high rates for their seats, everyone else would have to pay more for the economy seats. So because we have some very affluent individuals who are committed to the project, we're able to, raise money to pay for development and, create this amazing experience thanks to those, highly, let's just call them high net worth individuals, I suppose. So that is a business model that I don't think anyone else on the internet has right now. So in addition to the, unique selling points that Mitsushi-san just pointed out, we do have that business model, and that is just fundamentally the thing that's going to drive the whole project. And it also is going to fuel our corporate social responsibility, or let's say get the giving back element with the pay to play and so on and so forth. So we, living in this extremely affluent country of Japan, are able to kind of give a bit back to those countries who are catching up, so to speak. And yeah, that's obviously a very big part of the mission that Tokugawa-san and Dominic have and that we all share. So that's really, really exciting. I think Dominic should boast even more about that going forward, because it really is, a massive achievement. And we should all be very proud of that. And it also means, as even more prestigious avatars come out in the future, they will sell for a higher hammer price, and that's just going to drive up the value of the whole project. So very, very exciting stuff. Regarding Tokugawa-san's point, or let's say his little mini lecture about Yoshiwara, this raises very interesting questions for me about the morality and values of the Edoverse. Obviously, this is something that's going to evolve as we go forward. But as I may have mentioned before, I am a fan of what they call in Japanese table talk role-playing games, tabletop in English, but the biggest and most famous one is Dungeons and Dragons, obviously, and the default setting of that is medieval era Europe. Now, the values of medieval Europe are very, very different to the values that we have today. And this does cause some issues with modern players who are kind of playing in a medieval setting that has quite radically different values to what we are used to. And so things like, for example, the legalization of prostitution, that is actually something that progressive nations all over the world are doing. So, for example, in Holland, prostitution is legal. Germany, there are other, European socialist nations that have implemented, these zones where prostitution is legal and so on and so forth. And personally, as someone with quite libertine inclinations, I think that is a very good thing. I just wonder, what is the extent to which the Edoverse will have these kinds of what I would label progressive values, and how are we going to reconcile trying to create realism where we're replicating Edo with the expectations of modern people who are going to be in the platform. So especially, of course, of note here is women's position in society, women's rights. And that might be very restrictive to some female players. We might want to, rethink that, give them some more options. Obviously, men can play female characters, ladies can play male characters, and so on and so forth. That is, an option. But Tokugawa-san pointed out when we were looking at the avatars in the monthly Insider, that the women were kind of running, and that would never happen in Edo. They can only shuffle, especially because of the kimono that they're wearing. They can't sprint around. So this sort of thing is something that we need to think about. I think the expectations of the millennial generation and the Generation Z or whatever, that is for more dynamism, for a larger role in kind of day-to-day life for female characters. Obviously, there's lots of scope for political intrigue, for legacy building, and so on and so forth. And that's probably the kind of gaming that ladies tend to be more interested in, as a general rule. But yeah, that's also a lot of food for thought. But I do think there are some aspects of Edo that are extremely progressive, and that would actually really benefit Japan to be kind of reintroduced to this, like right now. Let's legalize Yoshiwara and go, and someone can Google Soapland and find out why it's called Soapland, and what It's a crazy thing about Asian culture. I mean, I've lived in Shanghai for almost a year and spent time in other Asian countries, and the attitude to the law is very, very different here. Laws are there to be circumvented, and you'll often find that the people who are implementing the laws will just tell you, oh, no, this is the rule, but you can get around the rule by doing X, Y, and Z, and blah, blah, blah. And everyone's attitude to it is extremely different to the kind of guilt-based culture that we have in the West, where the law is the law, and the idea of finding a cunning way of getting around it with soap or whatever is just completely alien. So this is also one of the things about Japan that I love, and I think we can show the world what Edo had that made it so great, that perhaps the current regime in Japan and other parts of the world might want to bear in mind as something that we could implement in the future. But anyway, I guess that's it from me this week. Congratulations on the Hikarie event. Sorry it was rained off on day one. I wish I could have been there, but yes, happy birthday again, and that's it from me this week.
Thank you very much, Martin. And now we know why you are living in Japan. So yes, thank you very much. And Dominique, could you please sum up the session today?
Thank you, Oksana, and also thank you very much, Martin. And the Mr. Tokugawa and I, and also the JJ, actually enjoyed the birthday just during the time, and that was very good actually. Thank you again. And I also like to review that monthly insider that we just announced, because this is very important, because our marketplace, the Edo Bass original marketplace, was reopened, and then all the auditors and everything was very safe. We want to reactivate, and then we want to just bite-price the markets of land NFT in the future. And then we are just still we just now accelerating sell the land NFT in the Ottoman areas, and also katana NFTs still available. And please just to watch, just observing our website and to get into them, and then to buy the land NFT and katanas. And also we now restarted staking of zennies, and that is very, very this is very benefit the programs to everybody. If you hold the zennies, you get a 10% in 6 months time. In this case, on an annual basis, that you can get 20% of the zenny from your staking. But these days, actually, in the U.S. and the SEC just announced that they're concerned, or maybe announced that the SEC called up the centralized exchange called Kraken. The service is staking service is illegal, and then so they have to just register into the SEC system. Yeah, of course it is, and then but so they don't actually deny the staking itself, but we have to be careful just doing the staking things. But at least what we want to do that the sharing of Zeni for all the stakeholders is very important in the Edoverse ecosystem. So as we just announced that the Edoverse Foundation is really considering to launch a new program very soon, but the Zeni sharing program, when we just achieved the market cap. Because the expansion of the ecosystem is very important for the ecosystem and the whole sort of economy itself. So the target of these is if all the stakeholders really participated in just expanding our economy and then just expanding the market cap, that'll be very, very important just compared to the other project too. So Edoverse should be one of the biggest projects in the world. In this case, and we need a market cap too. So we need to just Zeni should be the price should be actually the stepped up, and then if the market cap becomes to the certain range that we can share certain allocation all the stakeholders. So Zeni holders and also land holders, katana holders, and all stakeholders should be actually shared and allocated on a pro rata basis. In this case, when you just keep buying a Zeni and then your rate with a Zeni in this ecosystem is higher, you can get more Zenis. So that program, I think, for me, that is very excited. And then the foundation will announce very soon, and then please just wait for it, and then please just join the things to just accumulating Zeni just in your wallet, please. So that is the most sort of exciting issue just in the last the monthly insiders. And at the same time, we actually announced the program of real expansion of real world expansion of Edoverse ecosystem, because basically that, and we are just creating the Metaverse, just we're creating the Edo city in this modern world. Of course, it's Mr. Iehiro Tokugawa will be the 19th of the Chuo Ward Tokugawa household, and that is very our core place in Edos, but all the Han. The local family, daimyo family is actually, the concentrating in an Edo city in a daimyo mansion. So we can expand to the local areas, and then as just we mentioned before, we're going to just Mr. Tokugawa is going to hide some of the treasure in the local areas in a real place in Japan, and then once that you find it, so you can get the very great treasure. Tokugawa Maizoken, just in your wallet. That'll be very exciting to you. So this program will actually start just, we try to cultivate the cooperation with the local authorities or maybe the local, it's very important influential families or corporations nationwide Japan. And so we just started to move again after the sort of a little damage with the hacking, and then, but we 100% cured, and then we just now try to just expand the ecosystem. Please cooperate, please help us, and then please just join accumulating Zenis, and then the finding the Tokugawa treasures just in the nationwide Japan. Okay, that's about it from me today. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Dominic, and thank you everybody for speaking and everybody for inviting for coming to the event and for watching the monthly insider. And we will meet next week. Goodbye.